Would you believe that one of the most unbelievable vehicle collections in Hollywood doesn't belong to a high-profile supercar playboy, but to a man who almost avoids the spotlight entirely? Keanu Reeves doesn't brag, he doesn't show off, but what he owns makes the entire automotive world respect him. Not Ferraris, not Bugattis, but two-wheeled machines full of character, carrying stories that money simply cannot buy. From a bike worth a few $1,000s that ignited his passion, to custom machines worth hundreds of thousands, built specifically for him. And especially, there's a legendary icon worth nearly $1 million that he has always yearned for but never touched. The interesting thing is, the most expensive bike isn't necessarily the most important one. So which machine truly defines Keanu Reeves as a person? And why isn't the thing he wants most in his garage? The closer we get to the end, the more the answer will surprise you. Number 7, Kawasaki 600, Enduro 1987. Everything started with a bike that, if you just glanced at it, you'd think there was nothing special about it. The 1987 Kawasaki 600 Enduro used a 4-stroke single-cylinder engine with a displacement of about 600 cubic centimeters, outputting around 50 to 60 horsepower, accompanied by a lightweight tubular steel frame and a long travel suspension system for off-roading. With its lightweight, knobby tires and good control on rugged terrain, this was a bike that truly taught the rider. And it was this very bike that taught Keanu Reeves how to feel speed. During a film shoot, he was taught to ride by a woman, and after just a few minutes, he was hooked on the feeling of the wind, the sound of the engine, and the freedom it brought. The interesting thing is, this wasn't the most powerful nor the most beautiful, but it was the only one that completely changed his perspective on life. But then once the passion was ignited, Keanu began looking for something with more depth. Number 6B, MWR 75 1974. If the Kawasaki was the initial emotion, then the 1974 WR75 was where that emotion took shape. Equipped with a horizontal 2-cylinder boxer engine, 745 cubic centimeters displacement, and about 50 horsepower, this bike provided almost perfect balance thanks to its low center of gravity design. The shaft drive system, instead of a chain, allowed for smoother operation and less maintenance, while the telescopic front suspension and rear drum brakes provided a signature classic riding feel. But what made this bike special to Keanu wasn't in the specs. Growing up in Toronto, he was once obsessed with the image of bikers appearing every summer, and this BMW was like the embodiment of that dream of freedom. This was when passion was no longer an experiment, but became a part of who he is. But once addicted to that feeling, Keanu began to go further, literally. Number 5, Norton Commando, 850 1973. Not the most expensive, but perhaps the most real. The 1973 Norton Commando 850 was equipped with an 828 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, producing about 58 horsepower, famous for its ice-elastic frame system that helped reduce vibration, a crucial innovation at the time. With a 4-speed gearbox, a top speed of nearly 200 kilometers per hour, and a distinct engine sound, this bike provided a sense of living mechanics that modern bikes struggle to replicate. But for Keanu, its value lay in the journey. He once rode this bike over 1,300 miles from Toronto to Florida, an unsupported, non-luxurious trip, just man and machine. The smell of oil, the sound of the engine, the fatigue. It all created an authentic experience. This was no longer just passion, it was a connection. But then, just when everything seemed to revolve only around personal feelings, a completely different element appeared: cinema. Number 4, Ducati 998 Matrix Edition. This bike is not only rare, but also a part of pop culture history. Only about 170 units of the Ducati 998 Matrix Edition exist worldwide, featuring a 998 cubic centimeter L-twin engine, 123 horsepower, accompanied by an electronic fuel injection system and Ducati's famous trellis frame. With a top speed of about 270 kilometers per hour, this was one of the formidable superbikes of its time. But what made it special for Keanu was the Matrix Reloaded. This bike didn't just appear in the film, it was linked to the image of Neo, the role that defined his career. a bike that carried both high performance and symbolic value. But interestingly, despite being rare and deeply meaningful, this still wasn't the most important turning point in Keanu's journey. Because after that, he didn't just ride bikes anymore. Number 3, Arch KRGT 1 2019. What happens when you can't find the right bike for you? You build it yourself. The Arch KRGT 1 is the product of Keanu Reeves himself and his partner. Equipped with a massive 2,032 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, powerful torque, a frame made from billet C NC aluminum, combined with premium suspension and BST carbon wheels, this bike is not only powerful but extremely sophisticated. Every detail from the seat position and handlebars to the foot pegs is custom designed for each customer. This isn't a mass-produced bike. It's a personalized work of art. Priced at about $85,000, the KRG T1 is not just a bike. It's how Keanu infused his life philosophy into mechanics. But having created something nearly perfect, he still didn't stop. Number 2, Arch 1S. 2019, the Arch 1S is a sportier version of the KRG T1, but also more complex and bold. It still uses the 2,032 cubic centimeter V-twin engine platform, but is tuned for sharper response, suiting a more aggressive riding style. A CNC aluminum frame, high-performance ISR braking system, floating brake discs, and many carbon details help reduce weight and increase rigidity. The riding posture is adjusted to provide a sense of direct connection with the road surface. With a price that can reach $100,000, this is one of the bikes that most clearly demonstrates Keanu's vision for the future of American motorcycles. But the interesting thing is, though nearly perfect, it still isn't the most valuable thing in this story, because sometimes the most valuable thing is the one you've never had. Number 1, Vincent Black Shadow. This isn't a bike sitting in Keanu's garage, but it's the bike sitting in his mind. The Vincent Black Shadow was born in 1948 using a 998 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, once reaching speeds of over 200 kilometers per hour, an unimaginable figure at that time. The frame integrated the engine as a stressed member with a minimalist yet extremely advanced design, making it one of the most groundbreaking motorcycles in history. Only about 1,700 units were ever produced, and today its price can touch nearly $1 million at auctions. But what makes it valuable to Keanu isn't the money. It's the fact that he doesn't own it yet. It is the symbol of something always ahead, always keeping you chasing. And perhaps that is the true definition of passion. From a few $1,000 Kawasaki to custom machines worth hundreds of thousands, and finally a nearly $1 million legend that remains a desire. Keanu Reeves' collection is not just about bikes, it's a journey, an evolution, in a way he finds himself through every rotation of the wheels. So if it were you, which one would you choose? And in your opinion, which is truly the most valuable bike? If you want to explore more unique collections like this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next stories.